All right. Wednesday, moving right through the day. We got oil today. You know that trading's a little disorderly before the oil report. Oil report comes out at 10:30. Would it be interesting to see? Well, you know what? It's oil stocks, and talk about the most manipulated market. I mean, if you watch this, watch the reports, things like that, get a feel for it. It's amazing that regulators don't crawl up the rear end of oil traders and the oil industry, but they'll go after Musk. Um, looking at the futures are up 26 right now, which makes us an inside day. Little earnings news. Look at that. That's pretty cool, right? 90% of the U.S. pandemic high. Infections plummeting. That's cool. Now, let me give you my opinion on the opening trade, man. California and New York, absolutely skitsy and nuts, and these guys are just rolling out of this thing. The rest of the country, from what I can see, what I can tell, and my conversations, I mean, it's normal. Where I am along the South, life is normal. It was normal coming into the winter. Early fall into the winter. Everything was going back to normal. The Omicron hit, and that's cool, and it got people a little worried. But restaurants were full, boardwalk was full, activities are full, people are doing things. So don't expect a huge surge in purchasing. Um, Beyond seasonality, which is summer opens up and people in the Northeast or northern parts of the country get to move around and start having activity, and you're going to see a normal seasonality. But I don't think that there's a big surge in spending left. I don't think there's a lot of pent up demand laying around or remaining, because I think that people got on with their lives. It's just most of the financial news comes out of New York, and those guys are just nuts. They're nuts. Take it from me. I'm a New Yorker. They're nuts up there. And California, we know California is a bunch of whack jobs as it is. You cut off the two coasts of the country, and you have relatively sane, normal people. Well, they got their hangups too, a little closed-minded and shit like that. They could use a little more education and livelihood. But hey, you know what? I realize the more people I meet, the better I like my dog. And that's probably me. I'm willing to accept that. Okay, so here's the news today. Really nothing going on. Oh, you know what? Oil will be tomorrow because Monday was a holiday. Whenever there's a holiday in the week, they bump it 1 day and a half hour. I don't know why the half hour, but there you go. There's oil on Thursday with new home sales. And Friday is another trading day. And we got some good ones on Friday to look out for. But actually, what made me lose my focus is next Friday is non-farm payroll. Usually a big day, and I say it all the time, and I'm usually wrong. It's probably a quiet week. But yeah, well, given all the news and everything that we've been dealing with, it has been quite exciting during the non-farm payroll week. So be ready for anything. All right. That being said, and this already being said, let's look at, oh, that's our XLE. Let's look at our S&P daily. So here's our daily chart. We're looking like we're opening up 25, so that'll put us at about 43.30. So inside bar, baby, inside bar. So we're just gonna have to watch it. There's really nothing we could do with that. If you trade in this, you have all the congestion in this bar, so you got to trade through all the action of yesterday. You could make money, but it's more the probability is that you get chopped up. So really, the trade on this is the break of the low or the break of the high. If we get an inside bar today and tomorrow we open up on an inside bar, then we can break the high and low of that inside bar, because then the congestion on this bar is less dramatic, becomes more minor supports and resistance than major. But everything that's going on over here could be major supports and resistance for the day, and it chops you up. So I avoid that. But the break of this high, the break of that low, that's a good move, man. There's some energy in that. So the momentum is somewhat bearish in my view, and we don't see it rolling over. So we'll see what happens with that, man. We got to wait for that open to check that out. Let's see what the ES is telling us, what the futures are telling us. Here's the inside bar, right? Here's the wick for the day. Yeah, we're delayed. So here's the inside bar. We were up maybe 20 points more. And it'll be nice if we visit that today, but it means nothing until it breaks that higher to me. Yeah, the high was 45, around 26. Yeah, we were up about 20 more points. That could happen. On the 240 is bullish right now and just doing that grind. But look, we're leaving those topping tails. So I guess it wants to see what the market's going to do once the market opens. And we are around the 20-day moving average. It looks like it's posing a good resistance. So we'll watch that. This is an old trend line, just in case Anthony's watching. And I just leave them on there. Number one, I'm lazy. Number two, just to see what happens. So here, this long trend line, and the computer automatically extends it. So I was tracking this high and low. On a break of that, that would have been an entry, right? So yeah, I forgot about it, did all my trading. So it came back. And you can see how it's gravitating around that trend line. It's interesting. There's really nothing here to trade, but it might give me an indication of where some supports and resistance are. Right? Yeah, you know, for the most part, you ignore it. But here, this is another old trend line that goes all the way back, and probably back to January when we would hit those lows of 4,200, 4,222. And you can see here where this decides to make this price range is significant, right? You can see those topping tails, and it makes a little resistance right there. So it's just, I always find it fascinating how the older trend lines. I mean, this 40, 44, 46, 25 is an old line too. I don't even know what I was clocking with that. And you can see it all converges right there. So, yeah, you know, coincidence? I don't think so, man. You have these strong buying ranges. So you know, I mean, it just lends to me analyzing the chart. It's interesting to me. I look at it more. I try to have an understanding, almost like a hobby to me. I mean, this is what I do. I mean, all day, every day. I'm sitting here. I'm actually in front of this thing at 4 o'clock, and I do other stuff. But I always get drawn back to it, even on the weekends. I always get drawn back to the charts, and want to read them and figure out something, or I have an idea or an epiphany, or yeah, you know, or maybe I'm just full of shit and kiddling myself. Let's look at the 10-year real quick. On the daily. Oh, that looks like a big topping pattern right there, huh? I haven't really been clocking it much. Been too consumed with Ukraine, and Ukraine started their like draft or um concession. I don't know. They started taking people into the army. It's interesting. Momentum's down. I think the 10 year is going to start moving down, and that makes sense because people are a little nervous about Russia. They start throwing money into bonds, a little more security, raising the price of bonds, bringing the interest rate down, and that's exactly what's going on. Although it looks like we have a bear flag that triggered on the 240 chart. Well, yeah, that's consistent with our argument. So once we break this low right here, it'll probably keep moving down. The VIX, we don't care about the VIX. Let's look at BTC. Bitcoin. Bitcoin. This looks like a sloppy inverted head and shoulders. I mean, you wouldn't even look at it as that. This break right here is a move up. Can't really put a trend line in over here. This is on the 240. On the daily, you know what? On the daily, I'd be chill on the trade. Wait for the break of yesterday's high. You could do this on. I'm looking at futures, so the numbers are a little different. But if you look straight at Bitcoin, the chart should be relatively similar. And you can wait for that break of the high, go take a long. It may just hit that 20-day moving average, and my 20 and my 50 EMA are um, intersecting. If that's my 50. Yeah, that's probably my 50. Um, they're intersecting, and that's a good target. And you got a gap right here. Very probable that you break this high. This is a good trade. So you would enter the high of 39,460 for the futures, and your target would be 40,584. 40,560 I'd probably look for. So yeah, it's a nice trade right there, man. If you can get yourself involved with that'd be a good trade. And that's how you use this thing, man. Daily, in and out, lots of volume. lots of momentum. Get in, get out. Don't sit on this thing. This is not going to change your life. It's not going to be the new currency of the world. Um, I mean, you're competing with countries. It's just not logical. Not logical. I mean, I know you all youngsters, and I was like it too, anti-institution and anti-establishment, and we're gonna change the world. But the fucking reality is, the money and the powers in the hands of old families, old people. They're not giving that shit up so easily, and you're not going to revolutionize currency. That there is the cold hard facts. AMC. Um, AMC. See you real soon. Anybody used to watch the Mouseketeers when they were a kid? Think. So I think we did this already on AMC, but I would put a trend line here, right? Come on, where are you? Oh, I see. I don't have my snap on. Oh, look at that. I would put a trend line here and say, okay, I'm positive. I know I was holding out on that, but it looks like it's going to work. So I'm going to put a trend line here. I'm positive as long as it's above there. If it breaks this line, I would enter. Breaks this line right here. That there be my short. And that's how you play it. Another one you could play. I mean, this doesn't even make sense on the trading um, um, aspect of it, because I mean it doesn't have that much momentum. It's not. I mean, there's so many better vehicles out there to trade that you're ridiculous to trade that. But if you're sitting there and using that old trading theory called hope, um, and you hoping it goes up, that's what you got to see happen right there. But hope's not a plan. So that's it, man. That's the short of the long. Oh, XLE, man. If you're tracking the oil industry, this is an ETF on oil. If you want to get involved in oil but don't trade currencies, you could clock this ETF. That's a huge bar down. And you have oil reporting tomorrow. This was an entry right here on the 60-minute. You could have taken that, put your stop down there. There's a lot of risk on that, and then try to ride it up. You could argue that this is a bull flag. I mean, I don't like to see bars like this on my flags. I like good solid bars. But if the next um, trade or next hourly bar 60-minute chart breaks this, that could be another entry. So you had a very aggressive entry here. You have more of a conservative entry right here, and you're probably looking at about 68 if that tags, which is really no big doings. I mean, it's 2 points on $60, $66. But that's a good entry, actually, even if you wanted to hold this thing long term. You could really see what this is doing. I mean, oil's been running. I wouldn't really chase it. I might wait for it to seep back, run a Fibonacci across here, and buy it when it tags 50% retracement. That's probably the move I do if I wanted to get into oil. I trade oil in futures, so my oil play is in. And long term, I took Exxon Mobil. You guys know that. All right, that's it. We're at the end of our little rant and rave. What do we got? About 13 minutes in. That's not bad. It's not a bad report. So do me a favor, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like. You could hook me up on PayPal, Venmo. There's a whole bunch of ways to support the channel if you want to do that monetarily. The likes and the comments mean everything to me. So if you can't support me monetarily, and yeah, I know money's too tight to mention these days, yeah, a little emotional support would go a long way, and help add to the content. And I like communicating with you guys. I look forward to next month when I get to stream a little bit, and I could be a little more real time with you. So that's it, man. Get your meditation in. I got mine in. Wasn't a great meditation, but it was all right. I think I might hit it up one more time. Remember, you got to be calm and cool at peace when you trade. Keep your eyes open today. Stay sharp, and good luck trading.